Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. How are you this morning? How's your breakfast? Or have you had any breakfast yet? Oh, it's almost lunchtime. No wonder I'm getting hungry. Oh. Damn, I forgot you stole my money. Damn. Talking about that, good leadership. Good leadership. What is good leadership? Good leadership is leading you in a direction that will lift you up, empower others, while you don't take all the credit. But, talking of this, I don't know much about, all the political system stuff. Honestly, I know, all the different labels and whatever it may be, but what I do know is that that'd be an area. You know what? You wouldn't have to run for anything else like this. Like people are running for mayor and whatnot. Do you know that you're already doing it? You're already doing it. Every day, every one of you citizens across London, Ontario are running for mayor. When you are uplifting somebody or helping a veteran or help and support them in food, clothing, or in your good work ethics at work, or supporting people with challenges of any kind, that is leading people as a leader in the city. I'm not much of a city girl, but I'm here, and I want to sing a little song to you. You can help me because I have this horrible cold in my ribs. Honestly, they've taken a beating something terribly. And if you want to join in, Olivia Newton-John, hopelessly devoted to you. I got my hearing aid on one side and an earbud on the other. And hopelessly devoted to you isn't just about to one person, but we can look at as supporting each other, and that's in your home as families, with your children, with the neighbors, in good work ethics in your work, in your school systems, in your church buildings, as you sit beside the next person and smile and wave over, hey, I see you up there. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And, but some, leaders just don't lead you in the right place. And, it's hard. It's hard and it's heartbreaking. But mind you, ever been in a spot where you've done wrong and you don't want to do it anymore? But we shame ourselves. And thus, I'm really going on it big today. And we're gonna step away from this belief system stuff, and as far as religions go, but in belief in doing what's right. Not our own man's way, but on the right path. No, we have to follow the rules of the land, and following the rules of the land is commanded. And not to break those commandments. Unless they're leading you into dark, throwing you in wildfire, of course. But every day you're a mayor. Every day you're a president or a vice president. Every day you're a princess. Or every day you're a prince. Or a king or queen. Every day we grow. Whether we like it or not, we're going to grow. But that's where our mindset is. Maybe you want to help the veterans because they've been thrown out there, or maybe your family member. If your family member has been hurt and you just want to help them. But being a mayor, when every one of us would have to get rid of our pride. And we can't do that on our own. But we're not going to go into a whole bunch of different belief systems and that, because the belief system right now we're going to work on is helping each other out. Okay. So all of you are mayors in the City of London. Every one of you are working in a Congress somehow, or in a brotherhood, sisterhood. You're doing something to support another. So that's all about being devoted to each other. Okay? So I'm going to pull up something here, and if you could join me in this. We're not singing "O Canada," and I myself wouldn't run for mayor to be a leader. But Canada, we can sing "O Canada," but that's another song we can sing to each other. Being devoted doesn't mean not everybody's going to like you, because they're not there yet. They're not there yet and they don't understand it. Or if you've harmed somebody, you tell me, they're going to tell you that they're all about love. They don't want to hear it, do they? No. But when I think of my children, oh, I bet you they've learned lots of lessons from me. And Mayor Josh, I hope you can learn something from us. And I hope the next one that goes into leadership does too. But we all can be those leaders together. And that's why people go around and they clean up the places around the parks and, try to the best to manage what we can without playing those awful games of religions. That's the sad part, because Josh, the officers are scared. Because we have to blame ourselves. We never did a check on what the beliefs is and how they want things led. But here in Canada, Quebec, and I guess the United States has stepped in, the Sharia law is thrown out. You're not allowed to use it. Well, everybody has their own rules, right? But we got to follow the right rules in the right way where we live, standing. And so if we just think about this not just as a love song to one, but we sing this as a song and devoting each other to each other. Like I said, I'll do my best because my lungs are quite bruised, okay? Quite bruised. Guess mine is not the first heartbroken. My eyes is not the first to cry. I'm not the first to know there's just no getting over you. You know I'm just a fool who's willing to sit around and wait for you. But baby, can't you see there's nothing else for me to do? I'm hopelessly devoted to you. But now there's nowhere to hide since you pushed my love aside. I'm out of my head, hopelessly devoted to you. Hopelessly devoted to you. Ooh, hopelessly devoted to you. My head is saying, fool, forget him. My heart is saying, don't let go. Hold on to the end, 'cause that's what I intend to do. I'm hopelessly devoted to you. But now there's nowhere to hide. Since you pushed my love aside, I'm out my head, hopelessly devoted to you. Hopelessly devoted to you. Hopelessly devoted to you. And that's the way it should be with us. And that's what my point got across. If we take time to be devoted to help each other out, we wouldn't be in such dark places. You know, I reach out to Josh right now in public, and I'll state my case in front of you, Mr. Josh Morgan. You know, the rules are the rules. You know, and I believe in following them the best and most utmost healthy way in my work, in my school, and in my home, with my family and with others. But unfortunately, Josh, somebody has got into the system and messed around with my records. And sir, Mr. Mayor, has been going on for 5 years. But it isn't just to me, it has been to many people, my family, friends, and it has to do with, unfortunately, multiculturalism, religions, and with pride. And, you know, well, state one case. There's many cases that we could bring forward, but if we're on a continuum to eating our own vomit and doing wrong in the system, obviously it's a criminal act, because as we know, as running the city, we're not to transgress the law, which means sin, which means some kind of criminal activity, as breaking the commandments. So you're transgressing the law. That's what, you know, I've been getting at for others. Let me see if I got this up. But my point is, when you bring evidence, it demands a verdict. And so I get told, no, it doesn't. Or are you sure about that? Or that don't matter. Who is running the system? Because if you have evidence, but somebody's changed that information and tried to hide the information, you've got the evidence. Right? And that's what I'm getting at, Mayor. Oh, I have the right for my dignity just as much as every other citizen in London, Ontario, Canada. And I'll state my case. I have been getting all kinds of letters. Somebody has twisted the law. And with all respect, you know, you have documentation stating so, and nobody should interfere with that in your life or be using any kind of religions within the system to cause any kind of disruption or harm. And even in the authority system, we are not to use any other law than is written here in London, Ontario, in Canada, in the provincial law, or within any system in Quebec and USA, on the islands. You're just not to invading people's space or breaking the law. Correct? Okay. I believe we all have that clear. Well, Mr. Mayor, I'm going to set something straight here. I'm another citizen, no better than anybody else. And a long time ago, a very long time ago, when I was a little girl, and I'm going to show you this little girl because she wasn't quite that old, but she was closer to that, but a little bit older. And here she is there. So this little girl decides to take a wander up to the old veteran hospital. And I tell you, I don't know how I got there. I just know I was wandering up because I used to go to the one over in St. Thomas where my grandpa was. The old veteran hospital there. And I met with 3 veteran men. To me, they were just old men. And one was spitting tobacco, which was really gross because he'd hork it. And they were sitting in 3 metal chairs, one with green metal chairs or something. And they started talking to me about God. Oh, look at her. She's so cute. Yeah, they never asked me how I got there, really. But we started feeding the chipmunks. And they told me one day that if I ever needed anybody in my life, to get a hold of the veterans because God is with us. God is love. And so I never ever thought as a little girl, but I cried my eyes out because I had to leave the city because I got really close with them. And they had enough problems. They were there because they just, from war, and they were so traumatized. But as a little girl, I didn't look at it that way. I just looked at some old men, and they were dressed pretty yucky. I mean, old scruffy men, but they were the nicest men I ever met. And they said God is love. And if I ever needed anybody to reach the veterans, so I did. Never thought I would have to, but I did. So I wrote a letter to the military. Yeah, I did. I wrote a letter to the United Nations. I wrote a letter to the President, the Prime Minister. I even reached to see if they could get a hold of the King. I'm telling you, because of Miss Olive Miller, who was my friend in Cayman Islands. And, well, she hung around with the Queen, so why couldn't I go ask the King something? I mean, he's another human being, too. And I figured anybody that has any kind of leadership would help us. Well, as if it only got one message to anybody, that's all that mattered. And I just asked them to help me because somebody was using their religions on me and causing harm. About, obedience or you get punished. Unfortunately, this came across, it was an ongoing thing that somebody in the system was able to get away with it. And with all respect, I like to sing and dance and support people, and I've screwed up in my life many times. But when I've tripped up my own self, I don't need somebody else to do it for me. And I learn from it. And so we're told to follow this path. And the only kind of person we're going to have is in our own mind and where our heart is. So my brain is released, my heart's released. I'm not in no prison. And God is love. So I'm asking, where does this all step into helping the people when you're getting documentation to state you taking your money because you're a hard worker and and you got to think smarter instead of working harder, but you still got to put your effort in, and I have documentation proving so. Even though I've worked here and there, and it always gets recorded, RCA knows, Government of Canada knows, it's all there, so they can see how much my earnings are, because I take SAPP. And ODSP has been helping me because through this. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm happy. But my point is, someone's trying to take this away from me and stole it. And what they did was they archived everything. So they don't see it, but I have it. So who has that right to be breaking the law like that? You know, making me move, pushing me around behind my back, where I have to reach agents across the world to come and help me. And help my family and help my friends. I'm not asking, Mayor, for any vengeance against anybody. None whatsoever. I do not want vengeance because they've already done that upon themselves. They've already got themselves in a prison. They don't need to go to jail behind bars. They're already there. But I ask, as in the system, as you're a mayor right now, before they start voting someone else in, you know, so I do stand for veterans because that's just me with them in my personal stories. And it doesn't matter what belief system they are. I just know God is love. And God loves every one of us across this world. But He didn't ask you to cause any harm. But in His Word, He doesn't ask you to stumble anybody or tear anybody up or withhold money or harm anybody. And lots where mental illnesses come in. And their minds can be fixed by God. So I'm not asking, Mayor, for you to go out and catch everybody that's doing this. I'm just asking if you will help me get this all corrected. Because I deserve a life too, on my 2 feet, to live a life and have someone in my life to live and thrive as much time as we have here. That's all I'm asking. To make sure that it doesn't happen again. Because that's what happens in this world. That's why people live on the streets. There are people out there that were oppressed from probates because their families stole from them, and only stole from them because, well, it's a hunger. It's a hunger of transgressing the law because money is very tasteful. But if it's leading you, that's scary. Yeah. So I hear testimonies from people on the streets all the time. They lived in big homes, lots of money, and families are taking it. Or then you get the ones that don't even want to work, and they don't care, they just want to be on drugs. And then you got the other, it's not that because they're still in a dark place, Mayor. They don't know about the love from God. And then you got the ones that need work, and they're going around cleaning over here at Tim Hortons because they don't like to see the dirt on the road around the store. They're doing it for free when they could be offered a job so they can get an apartment. That's my point. Then I hear, I'm no better than any of you. This is out to, again, Mayor Josh. Can you please take care of these matters? Because if there's any way that I can help you, I have documentations. But can you help me as a citizen of London, Ontario? And I hope the next mayor that comes in, because we're all mayors to me, follows the rules and doesn't walk in with any pride, no matter what belief system they are. I thank you for hearing me. I won't go into too deep, but I hope this helps the rest of us around here so there's no more gang stalking, because that's been happening for 5 years, Josh. And it's very sad. And they got in the system. Oh, and they were able to wreck every vehicle I've owned. So obviously someone's very sick. So I'm not asking again for vengeance. I'm just asking you to be hopelessly devoted and all of us work together, because you're going to need your troops if we all can work together to clean this up. Thank you again for listening. I am living over here in London. I'm Rhonda Feher, F-E-H-E-R. You can look me up. Again, thank you. And God bless you.